Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Good Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Veterans Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, restoredmotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, for everybody celebrating Holy Week, happy Holy Week to everyone. Of course, Good Friday today, and then Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday. It was a holy bleep day for LSU baseball last night. We'll get into it. Tigers lose game 1, 13-5. We'll delve into it. Here, let me get a quick share. If you're on YouTube, please smash that like button. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Like the page, share the post. We'll get rolling here. If you didn't watch the game and you just woke up and you saw the final score, you're going to be like, wow, maybe South Carolina is for real. What a game, blah, 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 blah. If you actually watch the game, you have to throw a gigantic asterisk next to that. All week long, and again, South Carolina wins. It counts in the win column for them. The loss column for LSU is what it is. I mean, both teams dealt with the same circumstances with the lightning delay and all that sort of stuff. So just to get that out of the way first. But the way that LSU is built and the way the game started clearly impacted how LSU approached the game and their ability to win the game. So if you didn't watch, the game started, and in the third inning there was a lightning delay. After 3 innings, there was a lightning delay. They were in the top of the fourth. So LSU was trailing 3-1. There was in the first inning, it was a ground ball throwing error. So runner on first for South Carolina, and Paul Skeens gave up a 2-run homer. In the second, he gave up, or in the third, just look at the box score right here. In the third, he gave up a solo homer. So LSU got a run back in the second, so it was 3-1. It was 3-1, and the game was delayed for nearly an hour, and Skeens and Will Sanders, the South Carolina pitcher, did not return. LSU chose to come back with Dutton, and he pitched the fourth and only allowed a walk, but got through the fourth without allowing anything else. And then they went, so it's 3-1 going into the fifth, and Jay goes to Micah Bucknam. And Micah Bucknam gave up 5 runs. He gave up a grand slam and a solo shot. At that point, it was 8-1, and the game was over. So after Bucknam, they let Will Helmers throw for 3 innings to close out the game. So, Skeens gets the loss because he exited the game. He was the starting pitcher. He exited the game trailing, and LSU never took the lead. And the offense never really got going. Beloso homered, Jordan Thompson homered in the game. But, and that may be the bigger commentary here. And by the time those guys homered, it was over. I guess, look, we could play the what if game, right? I mean, if Paul Skeens stays in the game, look, they homered twice off of him already, but he struck out through 3 innings. 8 of the 9 outs were strikeouts. Skeens struck out 8 guys through 3 innings. he was at 49 pitches. So a little elevated, but it's reasonable to think Skeens is going to get you through at least 6. Have a clean inning somewhere in there, 7, like we've seen him do. And if he slams the door and doesn't allow anything else, which is plausible with Paul Skeens, you got a chance to rally, come back and win that game. But Skeens doesn't return, and you go to Dutton. I know there's this feeling like Jay kind of conceded the game, but after the going to Bucknam, he kind of. I didn't listen to him post game. I didn't hear him on the radio post game to hear if he addressed why he made the decisions he did. If there's one thing that I question, it was why he didn't go back to Dutton in the 5th. Dutton pitched the 4th, and then they went to Bucknam, and that surprised me. I thought they would stick with Dutton like Carolina stuck with James Hicks. Hicks pitched the next 4 innings, and then they had such a big lead, they just closed it out with just a couple of arms. So that surprised me. The other option you would have had, and this is something we've talked about, is sure, you could have gone to Edwards. You could have gone to Griffin Herring. You could have gone to the arms that you trust the most to try to, slam the door. The problem is you were losing, and you're playing a doubleheader the next day. So if you run Herring or Edwards out there in game 1 while you're losing and you don't rally, then you've burned Skeens and your 2 best bullpen arms having to play a doubleheader today. If LSU had the lead after 3, then I think when the delay happened, then I think they would have come back with Edwards or Herring. I absolutely believe that. Because if you have the lead, now you can go all in to win this game and then just go and try to split the doubleheader and let the chips fall where they may. So you have to consider that if you're Jay. So I had no problem, especially once the game went the way it did, with him just, getting through it with Bucknam and Herring, or Helmers. But and you save your big bullets for a doubleheader today. My question is why he didn't stick with Dutton, and I don't know. I don't know why. Anyway, so doubleheader today. The weather in Columbia is something everybody's watching. So check it right now. But you have 2 days to play 2. Let me see. Here we go. Let's go through it. So, it could be stops and starts and stops and restarts, and maybe you start the game this morning and you finish it when you have a break in the rain, and then you start the night game whenever you can, and try to finish it on Saturday, dodging raindrops. You just spend the day at the yard and see if you could start it, restart it, whatever. At Columbia right now, it looks clear this morning. They're saying rain possible after 3 p.m. So, you may well get that first game in and then dodge some showers this evening. So, anyway, it was just obviously disappointing. So they'll start the game at 11 here in a few hours, and they're calling for showers after 3, and really rain in the forecast all evening tonight. But and then light rain for most of the day tomorrow. So see if they're able to get it in. Okay, Craig Duga, what's up, man? Jeff McKithen, Devin Steve, good morning. Let's see, Beloso swinging well is a bright spot. Look, Cade swung it well yesterday. He hit the homer, and he did have a single, scored the first run. So a nice day for Cade, for sure. He, listen, if you want another left-handed bat in the lineup, DHing, I have no problem at all having Beloso in there. we talked about that. It's going to be sometimes playing matchups, and sometimes when you want a lefty, righty, whatever it may be. And there's times when Morgan will go to first, and Joe Barrow will be in the outfield, and Jones will DH or whatever. But yes. Brett McMasters, good morning. Bad weather, bad luck. We can bounce back. Saw it, didn't like the ump. Hopefully we take two today. Listen, yes, the umpire was a little inconsistent. He rang up Trey Morgan twice on inside pitches that looked not good. But he was, I think, bad both ways. And that ballpark is the ballpark. I mean, it's their home. It's the advantage of playing at home when you know your park's dimensions. And watch every hitter in the plane of their swing. You don't see a lot of flat swings from South Carolina. You see a lot of elevated swings. I mean, they are trying to elevate the baseball because in that park, you can run it out of that park. So, I mean, it's 380 to straightaway center, y'all. The box is 405 to straightaway center. I mean, you get it in the air, there's a really good chance it's going to go there. So, they're all playing in the same park. They play the same umps. They both dealt with the weather delay. And, Sanders didn't return, but their guy Hicks came back and steadied the game where LSU went with Dutton for an inning, then went to Bucknam, and then Bucknam, look, Dutton threw a lot of pitches. He threw 31 pitches in that one inning, but that I was very surprised they didn't come back with Dutton in the fifth. Jason H. John, good morning. Terry Ducote, good morning. Said LSU can't win a championship with this staff. Yeah, I completely disagree with you, Terry. Like, Terry. I don't want to be insulting. I really don't. Like, so I'm not gonna come too hard. But you have to understand the circumstance yesterday. Like, in a given game one of a series, you're not getting 3 innings out of Paul Skeens and then just putting it together, piecing it together with guys like Micah Bucknam and Will Helmers. No disrespect to those guys at all intended, but when you get into the postseason, they are not pitching meaningful innings for you. They're just arms on the staff. Like, they'll eat up midweek innings. If you get into a blowout scenario, either way, they can go eat up innings for you. That's all they are. Like, they're not going to be key contributors for you. Like, you didn't see you didn't see Garrett Edwards. You didn't see Griffin Herring. Gavin Guidry's emergence has been really encouraging on the mound. Riley Cooper hasn't been great this year, but it's another left-handed arm. If Nate Ackenhausen's healthy, that's a left-handed arm that you count on. You see my point? Like, Christian Little can be a bullpen guy. We'll see where he ultimately settles. Like, to say you can't win a championship with the staff is just not a smart comment. Like, I get why people are upset, but you got to understand what you were watching yesterday, Weston Weaver, what's going on? Brett DeGrow, we lost a baseball game. The sky is falling. Jay got to go. It's comical. I know people. That's what I always say, man. Like, LSU fans treat baseball like it's football. And you treat one loss like it's a football loss. And it's just not the same thing. You're going to lose games. You got to win series. And they've done that every weekend so far. And they could still do it this today. I mean, they could go out today and mash the baseball and win a doubleheader the way that they did against Arkansas. So go do it. Strong side, good morning. Trivia Carter, Brian Wynn. Baby Bobby, good morning. Samuel Smith. Jay's pitching decisions just surprised me since it's only 3-1. See, you can't think of it that way, Samuel. Like, you're losing the game. If you were winning the game, you could go to your best arm. But the problem is, if you would have gone to Edwards, Herring, and burn your best arms, and now you're going to play a doubleheader today, and if you don't rally, you have to consider that. Like, you're not protecting a lead. You have to not allow them to score and hope your offense comes along, which who knows if it will. If you're protecting a lead, your mindset shifts. So you're not going to go to Herring or Edwards or Guidry in that spot. So, look, man, if LSU was up 3-1 and they burned Skeens, they're coming back with Garrett Edwards. And he's saying, Garrett, go give me 4 innings. Get me through this thing. We got Herring on the back end. Whoever we need to finish it out, offense will keep going. But you were losing. You can't assume you're going to rally. So you cannot chance that. And I completely agree with him. in that situation. I completely agree with Jay. You do not bring Edwards or Herring, the guys that you feel most comfortable with, you do not bring them in after that delay down 3-1. If you were winning 3-1, different conversation. My only question is why they didn't stick with Dutton longer. Brian Wynn, do you think went with the back of the bullpen first to save the better relievers? Yeah, I mean, well, I've talked about it enough. I mean, it's what he did. Like, of course it's what he did. They were losing, and so he just ran arms out there to try to get through it. It's what he did. Bo was not a fan of coaching decisions, hoping they'll lights a fire under our ass. What coaching decisions? Like, please tell me what coaching decisions. There was one decision that you could argue, and it was pulling Dutton in the 5th and going to Putnam. Like, that's it. That's the only one that you can question whatsoever from last night. Coaching didn't swing the bat, didn't play in the field, didn't throw balls over the plate. Like, what coaching? Like, anyway, oh my God. The way y'all melt after a loss is annoying as hell. Dane Bergeron, what's going on? Michael Thacker, good morning. Craig Duga, Matt, a month ago, my little store got a case and a half of Blanton's. This week, case and a half of McKenna 10. Okay. 3 years of requesting, finally got some allocated. Do you think the whiskey hype is finally settling down? Good question, Craig. It's not whiskey season. If it were in the fall, winter, I would say you probably wouldn't have had much of a shot of that. But no, I don't think it's settling down. Let's see if it takes you another 3 years to get a case. That may answer the question. Shelly Malawson, what's going on? Shelly, you were at the game. Okay. Lightning in the area and it never rained. Tigers lost momentum after that very lively stadium. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, that is the rule, though, about lightning, is that if it's detected within a certain radius of the stadium, then they have to pull them off the field. So I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say, suck it up and play. It sucks, but both teams had to deal with it. South Carolina dealt with it better. Charlie Cavell, Ray Woods. Let's see. Matt, do you see the Game Point platform going live this quarter? Ray, I'm not going to give a timeline. I'm just not. I mean, because if I give you a timeline, it doesn't happen, then it's what you said. So, you know what I mean? Like, what I'll say is what I've continued to say. We are pushing forward, but there's parts of it that's just out of your control, man. I mean, you hire developers to build it out, and it looks great, and they're working on it like every single day, and my excitement for it hasn't wavered at all. But I'm just not going to put a deadline on it, you know. Charlie Cavell, strikeout looking with runners on base and bullpen ineffectiveness are killers. Jeremy Sagely. Oh, lost my spot, sorry. Morning, Matt. Enjoy the great outdoors with my daughter on a camping trip. Very good, very good. Earl, what's going on? Say I don't like Jones at first. Gamecocks got some dudes, pitching depth starting to be a problem. South Carolina's for real. Matt, give them credit. Honestly, Earl, I came away from that game thinking the complete opposite of South Carolina is for real. I came away from that game thinking Will Sanders is not a number one that is going to be able to duel with the best arms in the country. Again, now, if you're South Carolina right now, you're thinking, can this team get to Omaha and win? I'm thinking offensively, they're not a very balanced team offensively. They live and die by the homer. And they wait for you to walk them, hit them, and then they want to hit a 3-run homer. Everybody swings. Watch them play. Everybody swings with on an upward plane. I mean, they are trying to elevate the baseball. And what I'm telling you is, in that field, elevating the baseball, that could work. If you, let's say South Carolina comes and plays a super regional at the box, they're going to have a lot of fly ball outs. In 2001, LSU, Skip's last ever game, LSU played against Tulane. They played it at Zephyr Field, and was at all 3 games. And LSU must have hit a bajillion fly ball outs. They elevated everything that weekend, and Tulane caught everything in the outfield because you couldn't run a ball out of that park. So, I'm telling you, South Carolina's gonna have that problem in the postseason. And their arms, like, I didn't see any great arms. See how they are today, but it was I think an uninspired offensive effort for LSU. I think they did not respond well after the lightning delay, and that's on LSU. Come back and see how you do today. Brandon LeBlanc, Tony Cortello, Aaron Hornsby, Ryan Amanda Guidry. Aaron, I don't know what, like, your stream of consciousness and there nothing but negativity. I don't know what you're getting at there. Like, I mean, baseball's a funny game, and sometimes games like yesterday happen. I would have liked to have seen more offensively from LSU for sure. And again, I'm just curious why they didn't come back with Dutton after the 4th. But anyway, Stephen Ruttman, Morning Matt, do you think we see Skeens again? Absolutely not. 100% not. No, 0.0% chance. Somebody yesterday on Twitter after the game, this is like most of the time I try to decide between do I ignore idiotic comments or do I make an example of people with their idiotic comments? And there was a guy on Twitter yesterday last night, who said, stop kid gloving these guys, bring Skeens back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. No. Here, oh God, Joel Cunningham. All right, Joel, I'm going to tee off on you in a second. Jesus Christ, some of y'all are so stupid. Oh my God, they're so stupid. Oh my, it's like some of you have never watched baseball in your life. It's unbelievable. Like, and maybe my problem is I watch too much baseball. And so I see these scenarios unfold all the time, but if all you ever do is watch a baseball game, maybe a couple of innings here, there over the weekend when LSU's playing during the college baseball season, and that's it, then you never see these scenarios unfold. Watch 100 major league games throughout the course of a summer and fall or spring, summer, and like you will see these scenarios every day. Oh my God. Jay quit on the team up 3-1. No, he didn't. You have to think long-term and big picture. Back to the example about Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens is your horse. You are counting on Paul Skeens to give you 7 innings every weekend. Like, you have to record, you have to go 27, you have 27 innings that you have to eat up over the course of a weekend. 3 9-inning games. You need 27 innings. You're counting on Paul Skeens to be a table setter and get you through 7 innings to eat up most of a full game. Not only that, you're expecting him to be completely dominant, and you're counting on that, okay? And that's not even considering the fact that this dude is going to be worth 8 figures in July, okay? And if you as a coach abuse that guy, pitch him on Friday, light him delay, bring him back short rest, whatever, now you get a reputation for abusing arms. You'll never get another arm like Paul Skeens or another elite arm here again. That's number one. Number two, Paul Skeens threw 49 pitches yesterday. You're playing a doubleheader today. You would never bring back a pitcher who threw 49 pitches on Friday and bring him back on Saturday, especially if it's Paul Skeens. If it's the last day of the season and you want to run out there and here, man, just see if you can get me a batter or an inning, maybe on the last day of the season, but certainly not in the middle of the season when you're in the 4th SEC weekend. You got 6 SEC weekends to go, plus SEC tournament, regionals, super regionals, hopefully Omaha. You have so much bigger fish to fry than one weekend in South Carolina. Hell no, you're not bringing Paul Skeens back at all. It's just stupidest thing. I'm not saying whoever just asked the question, no, but like the guy was like, stop kid gloving Paul. Like, what the are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Yeah, bring back Paul Skeens today. Oh my God. And then, by the way, you play a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series again coming this week. So you're already going to have Skeens on short rest. Now you want to pitch twice in 2 days and then bring him back on short rest? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like some of y'all, I swear to Christ, some of y'all drive me nuts. Like it always illustrates to me like how little, like LSU baseball fans, it's not everybody, but it's like LSU baseball fans love LSU baseball because they win, they're passionate about it, they support their team, and it's awesome. You back 13,000 people into into the box, and people are, and I get it, I love it. But when it comes to being baseball fans, that's like LSU fans have this reputation of being great baseball fans. No, just because you cheer when somebody makes a diving catch doesn't make you a smart baseball fan. And conversations like this prove it, because these are scenarios that unfold. Like what unfolded last night sucks, but it unfolds over the course of a baseball season, college or pro, like thousands of times over the course of a season, where you have weather delays, you have to make pitching decisions, who to go to, who to bring back, short rest, all that sort of stuff. And what Jay Johnson did last night, of course you're not bringing Paul Skeens back, and he's done for the weekend. He's burned. Like that is not even debatable. There is no chance whatsoever that you risk anything with Paul Skeens, short term or long with his future, to bring him back this weekend in South Carolina when you play 30 SEC games and 56 games overall. You are not risking anything at all with Paul Skeens this weekend. Zero, period, done, not even a conversation. That's 100% the right decision. And you're losing the baseball game when the delay happens. If you were winning the game, you can come back with your better arms to protect your lead. You're not winning the game, so you're not logically going to burn your best arms without the lead, and that without the opportunity, we have the opportunity to take the lead. But you're saying like, there was the jackleg I wanted to talk about, who I'm sure is a nice guy, but I'm all riled up now. It was where is he? Something Cunningham. I'm looking for you, Cunningham. Hang on. I think he said Jay gave up or something. Hang on. Or he quit. I can't find your comment. Maybe you deleted it. Gosh dog it. I can't find him. Maybe he deleted his comment. I don't see it. There it is. Jay quit on his team down 2 runs in the third. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. No, the Skeens thing being needing to stop kid gloving Paul Skeens, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Saying Jay quit on his team down 2 runs in the third is the second stupidest thing that I've heard, at least this morning. You didn't quit on your freaking team. Like, you are thinking big picture. This is the problem whenever we had the stupid midweek game conversation that so many of you could never wrap your effing heads around, which is you don't go all in to win one game in baseball unless it is a win or go home scenario. You have got to think with a bigger picture mindset. You absolutely have got to consider the fact that you have 2 more games this weekend. You have a 30-game SEC schedule. It's 56 overall. You have got to think outside of just living in this moment, and you don't compromise your whole season for 1 game. So to say Jay quit on his team down 2 runs in the third is fundamentally stupid. Jay is thinking, how do I win this series this weekend? Not how do I go all in to win this game? Because this one game, it's one out of 30 in the SEC. How can you not wrap your head around that? It's stunning to me how so many of you cannot wrap your head around that. Thus, this is the cross I bear, is listening to stupid comments like that over and over and over again. Like, it's baseball. You're going to lose games. You know the great part about baseball? You come back and play the next day. So come back today, win the game that they're going to start here in a couple hours, and then yesterday's a wash. You even it out and see if you can get the 3rd game played. And if you do, go slug the baseball. They have a TBA on their day 3 pitcher. So chances are LSU's offense, just playing the averages, is going to get off. They're going to score a bunch of runs. See if you can go win that game too. Get a good outing from Ty Floyd today. Keep the ball down, because you know they're going to try to elevate everything. And Ty Floyd gives up homers. Like, oh. I swear to Christ, LSU can't win a championship with the staff. Jay Johnson quit on his player. Y'all so stupid. Not okay. Let me rephrase. That's mean. I shouldn't say that. Y'all aren't stupid. I just need to settle down a little bit. Your emotional reaction to baseball losses is something you have to temper. There. That's the nicest way I could put it. I went woosah. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, Pelicans home finale tonight. It's true. That's true. Lano Glee said if we burned through our good arms last night and lost both today, people would be complaining about that. That's true. Greg Lehman, what should we bring up next to troll you? Receivers? That used to be the thing when y'all used to ask me about receivers. Gulf South, yeah, man, Bad Boys 2. I love Bad Boys 2. That's on my short list of movies that I could watch anytime, forever, and all. Like, if I'm scrolling TV and it's on, I'm like, I'm stopping, I'm watching it. That's a good one. Greg Lehman said, why is Brian Kelly not giving us a chance to be the starter and just giving it to Jaden? That's a good one. But see, now I know. Saints cap space. Michael Thomas needs to be traded. These are good. That's so good. Oh, bro, Gulf South. I love Bad Boys 2, man. I love it so much. Hey, Sid. So much of it, of the quotes that I would like to use right now. Or too vulgar. I can't use my morning scone. Let's see. Okay. Now that I've been able to laugh and calm down a smidge, I would like to give you an example of the perils of burning your best bullpen arm when you don't have a lead. Exactly 1 week ago, LSU was playing Tennessee in game 1 of that series. And LSU had a 2-1 lead on Tennessee and losing by one run, Tony Vitello went to Seth Halverson, who was his best reliever. Halverson was Tennessee's best guy out of the bullpen. And not only did they go to him, they rode him for 3 1/3. They burned him for the weekend. And they lost. And we know what happened. Subsequently, Tennessee lost the next day without their best reliever. LSU won the series, and then Tennessee salvaged game 3. That is the risk you take when you if you go to the bullpen, get your best arms when you're losing. And that was an instance where it was later in the game, and it was a 1-run game. That was in the 5th that Vitello went and got Halverson. And then he rode him the rest of the day and burned him for the weekend. And who knows? Who's to say if that cost them a series? The Friday game was a 6-4 game. Halverson certainly could have come back if he'd only pitched the 5th or whatever, gotten through the 6th or whatever the case may have been. But anyway, just an illustration of someone who did what a lot of you were suggesting, which would have been go to your best arm, don't punt the game, blah, blah, blah. And it backfired. Happened literally a week ago. All right. John Wilson, you think Thatcher Hurd comes in today and makes an impact? I don't think they throw Thatcher Hurd today. He pitched on Tuesday. He certainly could throw today. I don't know that. I don't know that I trust Thatcher Hurd at this point to pitch on the weekends because he just can't throw strikes. The only way that I would run Hurd out there would be kind of what we described, one way or the other, was games out of hand. You want to get him on the bump in a road environment. Maybe you could do that, but in a tough spot. Jeremy Feist said, I don't think Carolina will have a problem hitting Floyd. He has a tendency to leave pitches over the plate. The Gamecocks can match. It's not that he has a tendency to leave pitches over the plate, Jeremy. I mean, like, literally to throw strikes, you have to throw the ball over the plate. The problem is with Floyd's fastball, he does elevate his fastball. Because of the spin rate, it does tend to rise. And so a pitch may start low and the pitch may elevate, and something that's intended to be at the knees may end up at the belt. And if that's the case, then you see a lot of balls elevated. That's why Ty Floyd gives up a lot of home runs. So, yeah, I mean, that's a concern. That's definitely a concern today. Is against in that park against that team that's trying to elevate the baseball. Ty Floyd leaving pitches up is the concern today. So his off-speed stuff will have to work. But I'm telling you, the kid who hit the grand slam last night, I mean, he took that ball off his shoe tops. That wasn't an elevated pitch. Go back and watch it. I don't remember the kid's name. I was watching the game with the sound off. I couldn't listen to the Carolina announcers. But the right-handed kid, I mean, that was a breaking pitch that he went like almost Warren Morrised it. I mean, that ball was off his shoe tops, and he just went down, got it, and just elevated. I mean, everything they are doing is I mean, every swing they make is elevating the baseball. Yeah. So Greg Lehman, South Carolina just had a day yesterday. They did. They benefited by a lightning delay that took Skeens out of the game after 3 innings. He'd struck out 8 of the 9 outs were recorded via strikeout. So yes. So whatever. Okay. I gotta go. Yes. Bad Boys 2 would definitely be more suitable to quote on Scone and Tea or Whiskey and Wine than on Morning Scone. Okay. It's funny, though. You say, like, couldn't have scripted the lightning delay any better for South Carolina. It's literally the thing that we talked about all week with this weather. Like, the worst case scenario was Skeens starting and then being burned for the weekend, which is what happened. Okay, I gotta go. I'm going to Traction to go work out at 9, so it's 8:37, so I gotta get out of here. Otherwise, I'd stay here and we could talk all day. Do me a favor, if you would, on YouTube, smash that like button. For those that I might have offended, I'm not going to apologize because I'm not going to apologize for you having your feelings, feeling what you do. That's on you. What I will say is I will try to be more measured and more polite. I'll try, but I am an 8 on the Enneagram. I react with anger. In the gut triad. So I can't promise that that's going to change. And honestly, I think that's why a lot of you listen to me or watch this for rants at times. So anyway, I wish you all a wonderful Good Friday. I'm going to go work out, burn some calories, and then get ready to watch this baseball game at 11 o'clock. And hope that the Tigers come out ready to swing and really aggressive, and that South Carolina, or that, that Ty Floyd has a great day and the weather cooperates. So, go Tigers, and God bless all of you. Please smash the like button. Oh, and the pinned link there is ProCharge. For the charger giveaways. ProCharge is giving away not 1, not 2, but 3 electric vehicle chargers. 3. Plus the installation. So if you own a business, a commercial building, Greg T, the Saints should franchise tag Traquan. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, if you're trying to trigger me, that's a good one. Yep. Traquan's a good one. Okay, I gotta go. All right. We'll see. Have a great day. Peace.